What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. A couple things. First of all, before I get into this video, it's so funny, like, it's not majority of you. It's probably, it's one in particular. It's kind of funny, if I post something on my community on YouTube, if I'm not doing, just to let you know, there's not going to be a video because, I don't want to not do a video and not say anything, especially for people who are looking for a review. I'll let you know if I'm not going to do one. You know what I mean? And it's so funny, the comments that I get sometimes, like somebody will say, "Oh, feel better." Where in my comment did I say I was sick? Just because I didn't, it made me laugh. Yesterday it made me laugh. Because just because I don't do a video, there was nothing in there that said, "Oh, I'm not doing a video because I'm sick." I wasn't sick. I'm not sick. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of made me laugh. I'm like, why would you assume I'm sick just because I'm not doing a video? Then other people talking about, maybe you didn't do it because you're bored with the episode. Again, I didn't give a reason of why. But I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, if I don't do a video, one is because I'm busy doing other things. That's probably just why I don't do it. Life gets in the way. You get, your really busy days, or you might get a semi-busy day where you can squeeze one in. But, people just, I guess, come up with their own reasons for why people don't do things, I guess. I don't know. But it was kind of funny to me. I just sat back, read it, and laughed because it was funny. I'm like, I don't know where they're coming up with this from because I didn't say any of this. So I guess. But anyway, moving on. Getting into this episode of GH. Maxie and Peter, I'm not on board with them being no relationship. I'm gonna tell you why I'm not on board, and I probably never will be on board with them as a couple. I don't see any real chemistry with them. I don't see no longevity in them as a couple. Number one. Number two, I felt like it's been forced since day one when Nathan died. When Nathan died, you kind of got a sense that they were going in that direction with her and Nathan. I mean, not Nathan, Peter. You got a sense that they were going in that direction. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling it. It just seems hella forced. I don't like it. That's just me. Some of you might like them as a couple. That's fine. That's your opinion. I have my opinion. I respect your opinion. But for me, it's a no. I'm just not feeling it. I got confused in this episode, though, because I could have sworn Curtis and Laura were in Canada. How the hell did they end up in Paris with Peter and Maxie that fast? How? Like, GH, y'all need to do something with y'all continuity because it doesn't make any sense. First of all, if you're in Canada, I don't care what plane you hop on. You could be on a private jet. You're not getting to Paris that fast. You're not getting to Paris that quickly. How the hell, the last time we saw them, Laura and Curtis were in Canada. Mind you, I love the little adventure that they took. I love it because they were in there looking for Ryan and stuff like that. They ended up popping up at this little house or cabin or whatever the hell it is. Which was cool, but you could tell Ryan was in that house. Ryan was definitely in that house looking at them from the window and stuff like that. Ryan was definitely there. But the last we saw them after that scene, they were at a restaurant, talking, eating, getting ready to order. Then, Peter is getting a hotel room ready for a little romance with him and Maxie. He got the chocolate strawberries, the champagne, the candles lit, all of that, just getting ready. So when Maxie shows up, she pops up with Laura and Curtis. I'm like, how the hell did they get to Paris? And that quickly? They were just in Canada. What made them go to Paris? I'm like, okay, maybe they said something in the episode and I missed it. I don't know. But I'm like, I don't understand how they got to Paris. Peter wasn't feeling it. Peter was kind of a little like, Laura noticed it too when she walked into the room. She saw the champagne, she saw the strawberries, she saw the candles. So she kind of knew her and Curtis were intruding or something. She knew that. I mean, it don't take a rocket scientist to figure out what the hell was about to go down in that hotel room. Maxie just seemed totally oblivious, like, because she kept looking at Peter strangely, like, like he had an issue with it. I'm like, duh, you don't see the candles and the champagne? And she looking at him like he acting weird or something. I'm like, look around. Laura noticed it when she walked in. How you don't notice? Obviously, it was set up for romance, and you sitting here inviting these two in without even asking him beforehand. You kind of just spring it on him, and, he was trying to be polite. Obviously, he didn't want to be rude. But you could tell he was kind of a little bothered by it, because he's like, we came here for a date. You know what I mean? You're just bringing them in, like, to join us and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure Laura and Curtis could have went out to dinner somewhere and entertained themselves. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. You came here for a date. This man brought you here on a private plane, the whole 9 yards, and you bring these two in to interrupt y'all little date time. Like, I would have felt some type of way. Like, for real, who wouldn't? So, yeah, I do like the little adventure and stuff between Laura and Curtis, though. I did enjoy it. So basically, Jordan got some bad news. Kevin cannot be a donor because apparently when Ryan had him in Ferncliff and stuff like that, he was very malnourished. So his glucose levels and all that, I guess, is messed up. And so he's just not a good candidate. Like, he's a match, but he's just not a good candidate. And she needs a transplant, like, ASAP. And, by the time Kevin gets himself back healthy and back right, it's going to be far too late for Jordan. So that was a bummer. So if Kevin's not going to be a donor, and I guess Oscar can't be a donor at this point, who the hell is the donor? Who's going to save her? Because I doubt they killing Jordan off. You're not just going to bring in some new actress just to go ahead and kill her off. You would have done that before Vanessa left. You know what I mean? So I wonder who's going to be the donor. Maybe Ryan. You know what? Ryan might be healthy enough to be a donor, because you got to remember, if Kevin is a match, Ryan has to be a match then, because they're twins, obviously. So Ryan, when he comes back, but ain't no telling when he coming. Well, he should be back within the next few days by the time the nurse's ball come around, which is in a few days, actually. I want to say the nurse's ball starts next week. I want to say maybe sometime next week, or maybe towards the end of next week. I think the nurse's ball is going to start. Somewhere around that time. I know it's next week. What I find funny is, TJ is a very bright person. I'm happy that, he's going to be a doctor and stuff. And he's just trying to figure out what field of medicine he wants to do. Like, whether he wants, like, what does he want to specialize in? Like, maybe infectious diseases and stuff. That would be a good field for him. You know what I mean? Like, any part of the medicine, industry would be cool. But I guess he's trying to figure out what part of medicine he wants to specialize in. What irritated me a little bit was, when he was asking Jordan all those questions about where Curtis was, and he pretty much got an idea that Curtis was looking for Ryan. And he pretty much alluded to the fact that he had to tell Molly about it. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand in relationships you don't like to keep secrets and you like to be totally, honest and stuff like that. And, you can obviously trust Molly not to say anything to anybody about what Curtis is up to. But why does he feel the need to tell her anything when this doesn't actually affect her? This doesn't, this whole Ryan Chamberlain investigation, how does this affect Molly? Like, why do you need to tell her what your uncle is up to regards to his investigation? It's really none of her business. I can understand that you want to have honesty in your relationship, but it's not like you're keeping a secret. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, the only way you're keeping a secret is if she flat out asks you, oh, what is Curtis investigating? If she flat out asks you, then maybe you can tell her. But if she's not asking you, why offer up that answer when you don't have to? Why offer that information? You know what I mean? It's really none of her concern what Curtis is up to. That's not her business, even though you can trust her to keep quiet. But what does it have to do with Molly? You know what I mean? Like, if she's not asking you a direct question, keep your mouth closed. Simple. I did love the scenes with Ava and Kevin, though. Like, she was just all up on him, like playing, taking selfies of them kissing, just to get it out there and stuff like that. So she, in the hopes that Ryan to see it. But when they went to the hospital and stuff, and he found out he couldn't donate to Jordan. Ava pretty much had a moment, and she was really like trying to get up on Kevin. And I love the way Kevin handled it. Kevin let her know, like, look, I understand, Ryan, played a good game at pretending to be me, and he, got close to you, and you basically kind of fell for him, but I'm not Ryan. You know what I mean? Like, he was stern and letting her know, I'm not Ryan. I love my wife. I'm Kevin Collins. I'm not my brother. And if you do this again, because she basically felt like she got confused for a moment, because when she was talking to Kevin, it reminded her of when Ryan was pretending to be Kevin, because he was so convincing the way he was talking. The mannerisms, the way he was speaking, it just all flooded back. So she kind of got confused for a second and just lost herself. And Kevin let her know, if you do it again, if you get confused again, this whole deal is off. I'm not going to pretend to date you, and we'll just figure out another way to get Ryan. I like the way he handled that. He handled it very well. He wasn't trying to be mean to her. He was just letting her know, I'm not my brother. We are not a couple. We're never going to be a couple. I love my wife. I'm just doing this to help out. You know what I mean? Like, I respect it. He did the same thing with Lucy. Remember when they were in the doctor's office together, he did the same thing to Lucy when he was in his office, or I think the hotel room or whatever. He was letting her know, like, we're done. We're just friends. You know what I'm saying? I love the way Kevin handled people. Like, he's very honest about it. He's like, nothing going on between us. Ain't nothing going on but the rent. You know what I mean? Like, back up off me. I like that. You got to be stern and brutally honest, but also be, have good bedside manner when you do it. He ain't all rude about it and stuff. He's being as nice and gentle as he can, but also being firm about it. So you take him seriously when he says it. You know what I mean? I like that. That was pretty cool. I like the way he handled it. But I did feel bad for Ava. I know some people gonna say I don't feel bad for her, which is fine. I get it. But I felt bad for her because she was played for a fool. And, this man used her, and he used her as an alibi to cover up the fact that he murdered her daughter. You know what I mean? Like, she's just vulnerable right now. She's going through a lot of emotions right now. She's going through anger. She's going through pain and hurt, sadness, depression, all of it all in one take. She's feeling all these different ranges of emotions. 1 minute she's happy, the next minute she's angry, next minute she's sad. Just her emotions is all over the place right now. It just depends on the topic of conversation she's having at that moment. Like, when they were at Charlie's, she was smiling and, just in a good mood. When she was at the hospital, she just, even when they were still at Charlie's, she got angry at the thought of Ryan and she wanted to bring his ass down. Then when they got to the hospital, she got all emotional, like all these emotions in just one day. You know what I'm saying? Like, within minutes of each other. Like, she just all over the place right now. And I can't say that I blame her. She's not going to find any real peace until Ryan is either caught or dead. That's, even after that, it might not bring her all the, it's going to take time for her to fully heal from this. And she may never heal. Nobody ever fully heals after their child dies, no matter what the circumstance was. It takes a long time, but you just never get over that. So she going to feel this pain for a long time to come. That's for sure. So anyway, moving on from that. Christina did not annoy me today. I was actually quite proud of Christina today. I knew she was going to go to DOD when Alexis told her, the number one rule, the only rule I got in this house is you can't go to DOD. You already knew once you said that she was going there. You know what I'm saying? That's like telling your child they can only have 2 cookies for lunch, but they end up taking probably 4 or 5. You know what I mean? They're going to do it. Just simple. But I like the way she handled it, though. She really handled it maturely. She went in there. She was stern. She was firm. She didn't back down from Shiloh. She had attitude and sass and just let him know, give me back my pledge and I'll be on my way. Even when he tried to sweet talk her, you could tell in her face, even when she left that house, when she closed the door behind her, it was hard for her to stand up to him. Because a part of her wanted to just believe everything he was saying and go back to the way things were. You could tell it was all in her face, but she stayed firm, and I respect that, and I liked it. It goes to show that everything Sonny and Alexis and the therapist did actually did work, and she actually listened to what everybody said. Because I know a lot of people didn't have no faith in her. They thought, oh, she was going to go run back to DOD. I did too. I'm not going to lie. I thought the same exact thing, but she impressed me today. She really did. I will say she was a bit naive going there thinking that Shiloh was just going to hand her back her pledge on a silver platter. That was naive. But, I respect the fact that she just, was hoping that he would show some type of good faith and give it back to her. But he's sitting there talking about, oh, you gave that to me as a gift. I said, this little son of a gift, please. But if I was Christina and Alexis and Sonny, I wouldn't even worry about that pledge because he can't use it anyway. He can't. He can try, but it ain't gonna work. He's not gonna get the results that he think he's gonna get from it, because that pledge. I know some people are saying maybe the written pledge was different from the audio pledge that she recorded. I don't think so, because the pledge was about Alexis. Because look at the pledge that Sam gave him. The written pledge was about Jason and this little fake murder. Same way her audio pledge was about Jason and the fake murder. You don't give two different pledges. It's the same pledge. One is written, one is audio. He keeps the audio one as backup, as a copy, just in case the written one gets destroyed. The pledge that Christina gave him about Alexis and Kiefer, you can't use that against her because Alexis already faced charges for that. And she already received her punishment for that. It's called double jeopardy. They can't retry her for something she was already charged with before. And even if they try, even if the DA tries to come after Alexis, Christina can always recant. Because that was her statement that she gave to DOD. Even if they try to use Christina as a witness, Christina could refuse to testify. She could sit on the witness stand wherever and say, oh, I only wrote that and said what I said because I was mad at my mom or something like that. She could easily say that and they wouldn't have a case. So I wouldn't worry about it if I was them, because he can't use it anyway. Because he was sitting on the phone with somebody talking about even though Christina's out of DOD or whatever, we still got her pledge, and I I changed the pledges around or whatever, and we could use it when we need to. You can use it all you want. It ain't gonna affect nothing. It ain't gonna affect a damn thing. And I know, Alexis was hoping that they could, use the fact that he's trying to extort from her and blackmail her as a way to put him in prison. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work either. But the funny thing was, Sonny was sitting there talking about, oh, this dude is bulletproof or whatever. Sonny, you are the last person to talk about somebody being bulletproof, because everybody been saying that about him for the last 25 years. You know how many DAs and commissioners been trying to put Sonny in prison? To no avail. So if anybody's bulletproof, Sonny, it would be you. Don't sit there and try to say Shiloh bulletproof, because you bulletproof your damn self. You the new definition of the Teflon Don. That's what they used to call John Gotti back in the day, and Sonny got the crown as the new Teflon Don, because there ain't nothing sticking to him. It was so funny though, because Neil, the whole time Sonny was talking and stuff like that, he tried to be careful about what he said in front of Neil. Neil had to let him know real quick. He was like, look, bro, whatever you say to me is confidential. He was like, the only time I have to report something is if you're planning on committing the crime, which is true. Anything that's already happened, he can't say he can't say to the cops or anybody. It's confidential. But if you planning on doing something, then he would have to report it. But Neil had a valid point. He had to let Sonny and Alexis know. Like, I know they're worried about Christina potentially backsliding and going back to DOD, but Neil had a point. She went to DOD by herself. With Shiloh by herself. It was just the two of them in the room, and she didn't fall under his spell again. She handled herself maturely, and she walked out of there on her own free will and came home. You know what I mean? Give her some credit. She could have easily backslid and moved back in there and, was back under Shiloh's thumb, but she stood tall. So you got to respect it. You have to. So anyway, that was pretty much the episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about today's episode. I will see you all Monday. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great weekend. To all the mothers out there, have a great Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. See you all Monday. Peace.